Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What they call Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But
If Kermit,
you're saying
like
not to do.
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
my wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven, blessing us every day. I could not sleep pretty much all week because of this show. I can't believe what is happening here. I wanted this show to be meaningful, to be important, to have real issues that matter. I don't want it to be just a bunch of fluff. Like, you know, those shows that are on YouTube, they're just talking about, other people and other shows and what's going on in other people's lives. I don't care about that. I care about us as a community. We, the people, deserve to have a voice, okay? And people will try to take your voice away, okay? No matter who you are, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a child, if you're a pet, people will try to take your voice and make you feel like you don't have any control over what's going on. I was served with papers this week and last week and the week before and the week before that. I had people banging on my door because I had complained to animal control that my dog was attacked in an elevator. Because of that, the person retaliated against me and said that I am a violent, threatening person and that Kermit and Friends harasses people, okay? And that's the opposite of what Kermit and Friends is. Kermit and Friends is a wonderful place where everyone gets their voice heard. That's all it is. It's a community. It's a loving community. It's a place where you can feel free to be yourself and be who you are. And you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be cool. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be successful. You don't have to be famous. You will be famous probably, but you don't have to be that because you are just very important to us, okay? And it doesn't matter your level or your status or what your position is or how many followers you have. It doesn't matter. I don't even care if I have one viewer. If I have one viewer, that viewer is important and they're part of the Kermit and Friends community and they deserve to have their voice heard, okay? So this is important. Kermit and Friends this week was accused of threatening to disclose people's places of residence to our online fans, including violent threats such as inciting violence. The subject has also described the apartment complex where we live. I would never do that. I didn't want people showing up here, telling people about my security controls, may have provided instructions to my online fans in order to access the building. What? Why would I do that? Why would I provide people with access to my own building? That's ridiculous, okay? The subject has caused fear and stress to our household, which resulted in negative health consequences, okay? If you have negative health consequences for watching Kermit and Friends, don't you think maybe you should turn it the fuck off? Turn it off. If you don't like it, if you're not laughing, if you're not enjoying it, if you have to serve people through the court system because Kermit and Friends is making you ill, then maybe you have more problems than just Kermit and Friends, a Muppet puppet show. Okay? A Muppet puppet show that lets people say whatever they want, be whoever they want. You don't have to be cool. You could be a nerd. If you're a nerd, if you're a little on the spectrum, you're more welcomed than a popular person. I don't want the popular cheerleaders or the football players. I don't want those guys. I want the people that were quiet, the people like me who, were the last picked on the football team or the kickball team, or the people that weren't doing well at work and were afraid to speak up or afraid to make a speech. Those people are the people who I want here. The people that were afraid to be who they are, because I was afraid to be that until like this year. Okay. It took me, I'm not going to say how many years because I acknowledge myself as 32, but it took more years than that for me to become who I actually am. Okay. And I'm still not there. So if you want to serve Kermit and Friends with papers and say that I'm violent and a mean person and a bully and I'm causing stress and fear to a household, continue to contact the person. I don't contact anyone. I don't even like talking on the phone, which is odd because I'm in phone sales. But I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like interacting with people outside of Kermit and Friends. So please just stop. Everybody, just try to be nice here. Try to not serve anybody papers. And, we really do need a processor here to go through our court documents and such because they're piling up. We need a processor. And we also need somebody to go through our news articles because sometimes we're in the news and I miss it. So if you want to do those jobs, please contact me or Leaf King or, Sharmin or anybody here. Obviously, Wheezy, who's my co-host. Wheezy, how's it going with you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm sorry to hear about that drama, though. It's unfortunate.
It was horrible. People were banging at my door, but I'll tell you, Kermit and Friends plays very well in court. They played clips. The guy that served me the papers, I think you call him I'm the respondent. What's he called?
I don't know. The server? I don't know.
Server, whatever he was. He actually edited together Kermit and Friends clips to play in court, and they went over so swimmingly that I could tell the judge loved Kermit and Friends, and I could see that Kermit and Friends really plays well in front of a studio audience.
Good. I really wish it would have been on like Judge Judy or something so we all could enjoy it.
Yeah, we all missed out. And it's funny, like I spent $50 on breakfast today, but I'm too cheap to buy the audio. I think the audio... It's funny. I'm like very, very I spend very frivolously for some things, but then I meant frivolously. That was the wrong word. But some things I'm very cheap. So these court papers, if anybody wants to buy them, or
how much are they?
They're $40.
Oh, that's not bad. I think we can pull that together.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe a GoFundMe. Yeah, so we need to get the money together to buy the audio. Is such killer audio. It's better than any show. It's incredible, this audio. Wait until you hear it. You're gonna be impressed.
Wait. I really can't wait.
Thank you. So you have been co-host for 2 weeks, and I would say, is it going well?
Well, I love it. I really do love it, except for there's other people involved that don't love it. And so they've been picking on me, but I can take it. But it's been pretty rough. They're relentless.
Yeah. So I actually have a clip of you visiting another show. I don't know why you would have done this.
I was being picked on and I felt like at least pick on me to my face. Let me talk back, And so it was me against 4 other people. And they were pretty relentless.
You were not going to win. When you went in there, I was like, oh, God, what's he doing? No. You're going into the hood right now. You're going into a bad area of town. He's not in a good area right now. He went into a place that I just knew would be bad for him. Everybody check this out. This is Wheezy in the wrong side of Kermit Town. This is bad.
Okay, Wheezy's here. Everybody put your fucking sunglasses on because this kid's future so fucking bright. He's going to be the new potential co-host of Kermit and Faggots. Go Wheezy.
Yeah, so Bob teased
Go
her kids.
Wheezy.
Is that what you're saying?
Go Wheezy.
Wheezy?
Are you guys gonna let me talk, or are you just all gonna talk?
You
What?
can talk.
No,
You
no,
don't
we
need
can't
permission to
talk.
talk.
We can't
Hang
talk.
on.
Right, you guys can promise
I asked
to
you
be
a
quiet for
question.
10 seconds.
I asked you a question.
I might answer it, but you gotta shut the fuck up first.
Yeah, I already did, asshole.
You're still talking.
Yes, so are you.
All right, you guys. What it is I don't even really like Bob, but he hasn't offended me enough yet, and I don't give a fuck about this
Oh,
Christina
we're not
bitch's
playing
daughter.
that. No,
This Christina bitch's
no.
daughter.
I don't have a
has
daughter.
nothing to do
I
with
have a
or
son.
her son.
So you call women
That's how much I
bitches?
don't care about it.
You
It's
call,
like it's a daughter
then
or
go
a son.
away. Then,
I don't
don't
care.
listen. Don't read it.
Violence.
Did Bob touch your kid? If he didn't touch your kid, then it's not a fucking issue. Just simply based on me liking Bob, all of you guys have called me faggot, this and that all day long, just based on me not hating Bob.
No,
It goes to show that
sir.
you guys
You're
are
a
a bunch of
fucking liar, and
fucking
I'm going to stop
retards.
you right there. You're a liar.
You're a bunch of
You're
fucking
lying.
retards. You got
Made it
that?
up.
You guys are probably 75 years old on here talking
Okay.
shit. All
Yeah,
of you
go
guys
knit
are
another
obviously-
wool cap, buddy.
Obviously,
you probably
go knit.
Why would you go in there, Weezy?
No,
Come
I'm not
on.
proud.
Why would you
I'm
go
not
in
proud
there?
of that.
It's
I'm just
embarrassing.
not proud. Yeah. Hearing it back, I realized that was probably a real big mistake.
Yeah.
Nothing good could have come from that. You're right.
No. You want to stay in the good part of town, the nice Kermit and Friends shows, the nice wrap-up show with T-Bob, anything with Sharmin
I
in it,
agree.
or, and anything with people that are nice. Stay away from there. I would say you're never gonna win. It's just bullies. You're just
I
gonna be
stooped down to their level, and it was inexcusable.
Yeah,
So.
that's okay, Weezy. I know you're new, you're new at being co-host, so this is it's it's a territory you're not used to. It's sometimes you just are nervous and you just don't know what to do. Like me this week. I knew I had this guest, anonymous woman. I'm calling her AW. I knew I had her booked this week, and I didn't know what to do. I was so happy about it. I ran home from work early. She was changing her mind. She was coming back. I didn't know what to do. It was just somebody that I wanted so bad. You know, when you want something so bad and you want the truth to get out and you can just taste it. You could just feel that this is something that's important. Okay. So there's things in life that are important. And this is one of these things. Is last week on the show, Sharmin and Kathy were speaking of a woman. If you watched last week's Kermit and Friends, you know. And they said that this woman went through a horrible thing at the NFL after party, an NFL Super Bowl party, okay? This woman reached out to me. She wants her voice to be heard. I believe her, okay? I believe her. Let's see what she has to say today. Everybody welcome Anonymous Woman.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much for coming on the show, AW. It's such an honor that you stepped forward. You watched Kermit and Friends last week. What were your thoughts on it?
Oh, wow. Well, one, the show was excellent. I do love the platform. And that's what made me feel good about kind of coming and kind of reaching out to you and having this conversation. But the things that were being said, especially about me, were extremely disturbing, but it wasn't shocking. From the people that we're discussing, Sharmin and Kathy, it's not surprising because it's along the lines of what they would do to get any attention they need. So, it obviously, like a human being, it affected me like everyone else, but I've been prepared for it for 2 years since I escaped Sharmin. So I've been ready.
Well, what do you mean by escape? Because you were her campaign manager for her presidential run. So you connected with her on LinkedIn I'm sure that was very exciting for you.
Well, you know what's funny is that she had hired someone to run ads on LinkedIn for her. So I just happened to see it. And I looked at her platform and she was like punished for the pedophiles and all of these things and the predators. So I remember just sending her a message saying, hey, listen, I love your platform. It's great. If you need anything, let me know. And that was it. That was just like you would do in general. If you see someone who has a good platform, it's like, that's great. She responded and she told me, she's like, oh yeah, I want to do all these things. I said, well, I have a background in marketing. I have a background in investor relations. So just if you need anything, it was a very general message. So she decided at that point, she's like, oh, well, you know what? I don't know how much it would cost to hire you. I don't have any money at the moment, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, just let me know. And so long story short, we decided to establish a very minimum fee, way below market value, by the way, for a campaign manager.
How much does it usually cost, though? I've never run for president before.
Yeah, you know what's so funny?
How much does that cost?
There's three things. So one, you pay your campaign manager. Two, you also are supposed to cover travel and expenses because they're running your campaign. And then, so I did both. So she originally paid me a $2,500, 2020, I don't even remember at this time, fee just to get started, to be able to develop the things for her, like a website and a marketing strategy and all these things. So she had no one on her campaign. And I did all of that. And that was just the initial fee. When I decided to go to Florida and work with her, I paid for all of that out of my own money. And to this day, I still haven't gotten any fees or money from her. So that's how we got started. Now, how it transpired from there is just a sick story, which we'll go into, I'm sure.
Okay, because I was curious about the costs of it. So you're saying that she didn't pay you at all?
She did. She went to pay me. And she did pay. I want to be very clear because this is not to bash her. I want to make sure that the facts are straight. Yeah. She did pay. She paid via PayPal. And then about a week later, she messaged me because what I didn't know at the time is that she was using her ex-husband's money and his credit cards. Just kind of a way to get back to him. It's like she was making random like $3,000 donations to people and just trying to run out the money. So
I wish I had a husband at some point. But
right.
a caller, Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Yeah, I have a question for an anonymous woman. On last week's show, Sharmin was saying that you had a sexual interest in her, and that she rejected that, and that was part of the problem and part of the breakup of you and her, because she rejected you sexually or relationship-wise, what have you. I just wondered if you could address that. Thanks.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to address that. It's actually the exact opposite, and I have the proof of that. Sharmin came on to me. I was very uncomfortable. I was actually in a relationship at the time. When she first kind of approached me, it was for the campaign. I try to keep things pretty professional when I'm dealing with business only. And what she did is she started slowly texting me how she was done with men after her ex-husband. And she was done with all of these things. And she knew, she played off that vulnerability because the reality is I'm very honest about my sexual orientation and who I am. And she knew that. And she used it so when I finally went to Florida and met her the first day, which she's openly admitted, which I have proof of, that she came on to me. She literally came to my hotel. I paid for a hotel. I didn't even stay with Sharmin. I didn't want to be in her home or next to her in that way because it was a business relationship. She helped me check in my hotel room. 5 minutes later, she was undressing in the bathroom and coming towards me. And I had no idea what to do because I was not originally interested in Sharmin in that way, in that capacity. So she's basically, what she's doing is she's trying to, she's a very sick woman. What she's trying to do is use this as a platform. She's trying to say things that aren't true because she knows that my vulnerability is that she does know my sexual orientation. However,
Which is?
I'm bisexual, but right now I'm dating a man and I'm getting married to a man at some point. And so she literally, thank you for putting that. I love that.
What is that? I can't even read that. Hold on.
So it's a romantic relationship I've been with a woman for months. Because of that, I can no longer run for president. That's what she put on her thing. Yeah.
Wait, what is that? What is that? Clear that up.
No. Let it come back up. Please let it come back up.
Okay, I want to see what that. I'm going to read that. I'm going to read that. So that says Sharmin Smith for president. Sharmin, hold it still.
I'm shaken.
Okay, I've been in a relationship with a woman for months. Because of that, I can no longer run for president.
Exactly.
Make sure you notice who it's posted by. The police love receiving this in Minneapolis.
What? Alyssa, listen to me. I refuse to be on this call if she's on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm being very honest about that. I will hang up.
Okay.
So I will not engage with her in any way.
Okay, but
this woman has really done a lot of things to me, and I refuse to be in any conversation with her whatsoever.
Okay, so you guys are saying opposite things right now. On the last
No, we're not. What she tried to do is, like, I've sent you all the evidence. What she's tried to do is continuously, first she was saying that never happened because she was in the middle of her divorce and she knew it would be against her. And then finally, she then started, the only reason she's even admitting it now is because the police found out about it, because they went through my messenger and saw the things that she did.
Wait, she's holding up another paper. Can we look at that paper?
I don't mind what she does. I'm going to get off the call.
Okay. We'll look at the paper later.
Because this woman has really done a lot of damage to me.
Okay. So tell me this. Okay. So those papers that Sharmin's holding up, are those false papers? Are they doctored?
No. So what she's holding up is when I had access to her Facebook, and she messaged me saying, I can't run for president. I have the text. Because I don't want this to get out that I went after you and that I was sexually trying to be involved with you. So I, at that point, you see it says posted by Zarina Hameen. I posted, okay, this happened. I was in a sexual relationship with, and I can't run for president. She texted me and said that. I had nothing to do with that. I don't want Sharmin's drama. I don't want Sharmin's mess. Because before that, it was her husband. Before that, it was her husband. Before that, it was people from her past. She uses the same constantly. She uses the exact same script, different cast. It's always someone's done her, and she has built a platform off that as being some kind of victim to nothing.
Okay, but before all this happened, before the fighting happened, it must have been going well at some point because you guys.
As far as the campaign, yes. By the way, which I was never paid for, but as far as the campaign, yes. When she decided the day that I went to Florida to come out of a room undressed, that is when it changed. But I felt sorry for her because she's really, really good at being manipulative. She's really, really good at trying to make people feel bad for her and everybody else did everything else. She hasn't done anything. She's the victim of everyone else in the world, and that's not a reality.
Okay, so okay, all right. You described it as sexual manipulation. How so? Because you wanted to work with her. Somehow it got into some kind of relationship where you were.
Well, I didn't describe it as sexual manipulation, but in this past week, I have absolutely seen it as that, as we've had our discussions, because that is how she's manipulated everyone. And so I didn't tell Sharmin that I wanted to be in a sexual relationship with her, a romantic relationship with her. That never happened. And she came on to me because she was like, I'm all alone. Her children were leaving her. Her husband had left her. She had accused him of rape, all of these things. So she felt on that. I was very honest about my sexuality in the very beginning. And so when I literally, within hours of arriving in Florida, she was all over me. And I was very uncomfortable because I was not ready, even though, yeah, she's an attractive woman, but I was no way ready for that. She was the first woman I had ever in my life had been with in that way, and I did not welcome it in any way. I was hoping that it would not happen.
So you were attracted to Sharmin?
Not initially, no. It's as we kept talking from November on until I got there in January, where I was like, well, I feel really bad for this woman, and she seems really sweet. And so we started having a lot of personal conversations about our lives, about our relationships, things like that. And that's when I definitely was attracted to her. But no, she's tried to pin the story of like, I'm obsessed with her and I've loved her. I didn't feel any of that for Sharmin. I was trying to do my job, and I was willing to ignore that she did what she did in order to continue to do the job.
Okay, everybody's coming at me right now. I'm going to have everybody have their voice heard. I just have this caller. He's a great caller. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Hi, thanks for taking me again. I just wanted to probe a little further on the Me Too moment you had with Sharmin in the hotel room when she came out buck naked. How did you handle it, or how did you get out of this situation? Because as you know, Me Too moments happen to a lot of us, men, women, whatever. How did you handle the Me Too moment when she came out naked, and did you ever succumb to her advances at all? Thank you.
Great question. I just want to say,
question.
I just want to say one thing. John Taylor, Sharmin, everybody that's contacting me, just sit tight. Okay, go ahead, anonymous woman. Can you answer Brain's question?
It's actually a really excellent question. Because to be honest with you, I've never been in that situation before, and you know, with it's so hard to explain how manipulative this woman is and the damage control I've had to do since I left her. But at that time in that hotel where I was in her territory, I was far away from my home. I was only there for her, to help her. And so I'm embarrassed to admit that I did succumb to it. I'm very embarrassed to admit to it because it was something that I didn't want to do, but I felt it was necessary for what was to come next. She made it seem like, oh, I'm done with men because my ex-husband raped me or whatever the case may be, which the police don't even believe. And then she kind of made it seem like we're going to do this campaign together, but we're also going to be together. And you're going to be able to have all of this. I mean, she preached it so well. The only reason that Sharmin is upset right now is because her manipulation is no longer working on me. She has contacted all these people and no one believes her. And it's a reason. She is completely lying. When she said last week on the show, she contacted the sheriff no, what happened was I've spoken to all these people. What's happened is that she was constantly berating them, calling them nonstop in the middle of a global pandemic. I'm sorry, I'm getting very upset. In the middle of a global pandemic, when the sheriff's office, their focus was trying to make sure people wouldn't get evicted and that they didn't have to kick people out of their homes. And they said they had to answer her call because she would not stop calling. And 5 minutes into the conversation with the sheriff, and I don't want to put anyone else in this, and let's just say that 5 minutes into it, everyone knew that she was completely unstable. Everybody knew. If I had done all these horrible things she claimed, then I would be in jail. There's a reason she said last week, oh, the police won't help me because there's nothing to help you with. You're making up this story like you did with everyone else in your life since you were a child. She claims, oh, I don't want all this controversy. She lives off of it. She lives off of it because she needs the attention. She's trying to build me as a platform, just like before she tried to build her husband and everyone else. And now I feel so horrible for the way that I've treated anyone as a result of anything she said.
Okay, so sometimes when I hook up with a guy, it goes wrong, right? I hook up with this guy and then it goes really, really bad. And bad things happen after that. Can you take me through after the night in the hotel room? Take me through what happened after that moment to where it got the worse that it went. Take me through that journey.
I would say it was from there on out, she completely changed. Before, I've openly admitted to you, Elisa, that, Sharmin's good at being, you admire her. She's good at the waterworks. She's good at the I'm a victim. I mean, this is something she's perfected over the years. So she's good at all those things, but originally it's that passion of hers where you're like, oh, wow, this is great. I want to be on this campaign. I want to support you. I want to help you.
Of course, it's a dream. It's a dream.
Right. It's a dream. So soon after that, she completely changed because she knew she had me. It's a manipulation tactic. And she changed. She became dark. I started to find out the issues of her past. I started finding out her relationship with her children that she claims was me when it wasn't. The relationships in her past relationships, her childhood, everything. How she had no friends. And it was everybody else's fault that she didn't have any family or friends and that her family left her. And so that's what started to come around. And so what happened is, and what changed it, is the day that she became extreme physically violent to me. I had started before that happened. I was in the process of already being extremely depressed being around her, but I was trying to help her. You and I've discussed this. I lost 60 pounds while I was in Florida because I stopped eating. I was stressed out. And so I literally was going through the motions. And then in the midst of all that, she watched me suffer. She watched me go through that. Even after that, she then became physically violent towards me.
Wow. Okay. This person's calling me over and over. This better be relevant. Yes, Eric.
Oh, I'm with Grant Cardone on the other line. He asked me to ask hard questions. Why do you want to have a great sex life with me? Why do you want to work with me to get it in the right hole 99.9% of the time so we can both win 100% of the time? And besides the price of our wedding, Elisa, which is really the root of this whole show.
No, Eric, not relevant. I gotta go, Eric. Not relevant. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So the violence started when?
It was almost, the good news is I got there January 1st, 2019. That happened around April. And so by then, and it only happened because I had moved I was at her house and I had moved all of my stuff, my luggage, into her main area near the door. Because she had flipped out because she was trying to sell all her stuff, because once her husband canceled his cards after she was overusing them, she was lacking money. And so therefore she was going to sell a bunch of things in her home. She asked me to take pictures of those things. I took them, sent them to her. She came from her backyard flipping out, like, don't take pictures of my stuff. I was like, you told me to. She doesn't remember a lot because she's always high because she's on medicinal marijuana. And then when I said, I can't deal with this, and I went to move my stuff, she flipped out like, where are you going? It's a manipulation thing. And I was literally, her neighbors watched this. Her neighbors came over because I was sitting there at her, like at her island in her kitchen, literally with the soda, and she grabbed the cup, slammed it into the sink, crashed it, and grabbed me by my arms and shoved me into the wall. Right after, she ran into her room, and literally her neighbors who lived across the hall was like, we saw that. She knows this. She cannot deny that she knows this. They came over and said, we saw what she's done that before. She used to have those kind of matches with her ex-husband.
Was it a nice neighborhood?
Yeah, very quiet, I mean, you can hear someone screaming and grabbing someone and shoving them.
Upscale?
And so after that happened is when I started planning my exit. And when you're dealing with Sharmin, you have to plan an exit. You can't just leave. So that's why I said originally I was shocked by this, but I was not surprised.
Okay, I'm getting another caller. John Taylor, you got through. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Hi, and this is topical. I wanted to ask your guest, and I'm sure she heard this, Sharmin had accused you of accusing some big NFL bigwig of falsely accusing him of rape. And I would like you to address that. It sounds false to me, but I would like you to talk about that, because I think that her telling people that you're falsely accusing somebody of rape is pretty serious. So that was my question. Thank you.
Great question, John Taylor. Sorry for calling your wife a bitch the other day. Go ahead.
No, that's an excellent question, John, and I'm really happy you asked it, because the reality is this: the first time I ever had a conversation with Sharmin about the NFL at all, and again, I actually saw this text message last night when I was going through everything. And she was saying, because I told her, I said, I was at the Super Bowl in 2018. She said, so was my husband. And he messaged me saying that there was so much inappropriate behavior. He was happy I didn't go. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, I was there. And she's like, well, maybe you guys were at the same parties. That's how that started. That was before I even went to Florida. That was in November. I just read this text message last night from her because I was going through all of this information. And so when she said that, she started then trying to whisper in when she met me where, he kept talking about all these inappropriate things. Did you witness these things? Were you a part of these things? This is all things that she started to, when she found out that I was at the Super Bowl and her husband was at the Super Bowl because she was in the middle of divorce and she was trying to snag him, is when she started saying all of these things. And so all of this started transpiring. She was saying that other people were involved. And then, and the thing about it is she brought Kathy into it. In all honesty, I've talked to Kathy about Kathy to her maybe twice. And I was talking about how I was at the Super Bowl and I knew Kathy. And now all of this has transpired from that. I never mentioned the Super Bowl when we first met. Look at our beginning messages, our beginning text messages. I didn't say, hey, listen, I was a victim of X, Y, and Z, and I want to be your campaign manager and I want to do all these things. If you look at those beginning text messages, it was simply, did you make payment? What do you need for campaigning? What do you need for this? Our relationship did not start in any way as a result of any accusations of the Super Bowl or anything else. That is a blatant lie.
Okay, were you in love with Sharmin?
God, no. No. I was infatuated with Sharmin in the beginning. I thought she was admirable. I thought she was intelligent. All things I realized were just spawned by mental illness. But I wanted to jump. It was more for me. I wanted, if someone was really into changing the world and doing all of these things and putting pedophiles in jail, that was something I could get behind at that time. It was nothing personal for me. And I was not in love with Sharmin. I am still not in love with Sharmin to this day. And she sits here and she makes these stories up. She used to do that to me. I'm sorry that I ever believed her. I'm sorry I ever believed anything she ever told me, because even what she's saying now, the timeline doesn't match up. If I ruined your life, you accused your husband of raping you in August. I was in Kenya at the time. When your husband decided to separate from you because you accused him of rape, I was in Peru working at a women's shelter. I had nothing to do with any of that. And the information I've sent shows that. It shows that I literally, the timestamps don't add up. I didn't even know her yet when her husband was leaving her. And her children were leaving her. I had nothing to do with that. I did not cause any irreparable damage to her family. She did that herself. And she did it before that, and she continues to do it. Now all she needs is every time she tries to build a platform, there has to be a villain. And she's trying to make me the villain. And I had nothing to do with Sharmin. I did not in any way destroy her life. If anything, she's destroyed mine, because when I finally got away from her, I had to focus on my own personal mental health because of it. Because of the damage she's done to me is irreparable. And the reality is, then she said last week, I posted all of these things online. I don't even know these websites that she's talking about. Maybe it's one of the hundreds of other people you've pissed off that posted stuff online. And half the online reviews predate me. Somewhere in like 2015. So I didn't even know Sharmin in 2015.
Oh yeah, I did read those reviews. So Sharmin has a book called Taming the Titta.
Right.
And there's a lot of reviews on her book. There's 5-star reviews. I read through those. And then there's these other reviews that are like 1 star. Mm-hmm. And it seems, when I read those reviews, Eric, please stop calling me. When I read those reviews, it seems like someone that knew her really well. And like, Eric, stop. Okay, so she has made several claims in the years I've known her, false claims on so many issues, like people being after her, trying to kill her, rape accusations. Who else would have written this but you?
Right. What did you say? I didn't hear. I'm sorry. You said what happened?
Well, the person that has written these reviews on
right. No, that's exactly my point. Is one, several of the reviews predated me. Though I think there were several. I had to go on this website. I had never heard of this website. I had to literally go on there to see what she was talking about when I heard that in the show last week. I go on there. I think there were several from 2020. You know, she has all these issues. It could be anyone at this point. Because think of how many people this woman has falsely accused of things. I don't know who the hell wrote those reviews, but I know that in 2020, when we were all quarantined, all I was trying to do was get therapy and trying to get over and move on past what she did for me. So hearing about these reviews, I'm like, I think some of them were in March. Sharmin was the last thing from my mind. It's probably one of the of other people that you've falsely accused and lied about that may have done that. I don't know. I'm not answering for other people's crimes. And I'm not here to retaliate against her. I am here to set the truth and set everything straight.
Okay, but you have said that this is like the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life?
Yes. Yes. And I say that with I'm going to be very honest. I don't care who understands. I don't care who supports me. I don't care. Only I know my truth and I know what happened. And everybody in my life was trying to get me away from her. I sought psychiatrists who told me I need to get away from her. Police, law enforcement told me to get away from her. And so all I focused on is moving on with my life. I'm not writing fake. This is all made up in her head. She's diagnosed bipolar, and anything she says, it's like she creates these stories. Like, I feel so guilty of anyone I've ever mistreated because of anything she said. She used to tell me, I remember, and again, I saw this text message last night as well, when she was telling me January 1st, like literally hours before I was going to Florida. Oh, I'm going to go away and go be with a friend because I think my ex-husband, I think someone in his family committed suicide on the New Year's Eve, and he's probably going to flip out and try to come here and kill me and rape me, so I'm going to leave. I mean, extravagant stories. And I was like, wow, this woman's really, at the time, I didn't know who I was dealing with. I'm like, wow, this poor woman. I even sent the text back like, oh my God, get out of the house, be safe. She has completely played on my vulnerabilities, my heart, my everything. I don't care who believes it. I know what's true. And from what I saw yesterday, I was, and you know, Lisa, we had this conversation. I wasn't even going to get on I was not going to respond. I was going to stay quiet because I was raised in an environment where things stay private. You don't publicly go out and announce things, but she needs to, because she needs me to be the villain for her platform. So I've gone back, like you said, and when you opened this up, I've gone back and forth with this because this is not who I am. I've moved on past this woman, but hands down, she was literally the worst thing that ever happened to me. The manipulation, the violence, the lies, I'm still getting over it.
Okay, I'm getting a very interesting caller. This is Ham Hands Bill from the Howard Stern Show. Yes, Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Lisa, yes, I wanted to ask the anonymous guest, when the things were good between you and Sharmin, how was when the moment was good? How good was the oral sex and the kissing?
You know what?
Great question, Bill.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a great
question.
However, as I just said, I'm a very private person, so I don't kiss and tell.
Okay.
But let's just say this: it wasn't that hard to get over. Let's just put it that way. And
wow.
And so again, so this whole I'm in love with her and obsessed, it's crap. It's nonsense. And I'm not gonna and this is and Elisa, we talked, this is the one and only time I will respond to this nonsense. If Sharmin, she has no idea. I've had to protect myself. People that I've met since I met Sharmin here in my own hometown, I've had people say, hey, make sure that they don't have a connection to Sharmin. I've had to watch the people I've led in my life because of this woman's psychotic banter. I had this great, and I think she said she went to Florida once and I had to stop talking to her because I've had lawyers protect it. I've had people saying, you have to be careful. This is a very unstable woman and they do not know rationale.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely something missing when there's just tongue, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so, all right. So a lot of people have questions for you. Are you open to taking questions?
Yeah, I'm completely open.
Okay, so that's
the only reason I'm here. I didn't want to be here, but if I'm not gonna, at some point when someone's beating you so much, beating you down so much, you have to grab the stick from them and start hitting them back. Okay, and that's the only reason I'm here.
I understand. I'm gonna bring on a doctor. Dr. Frankencock, what is your question for Anonymous Woman?
So, Anonymous Woman, I have a question for you. You said you're bisexual, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so what is the biggest girth in a dick you've ever taken in your life?
Definitely. I mean, I've gotten the full 12, I would say. Yeah. I hope this doesn't sound racist, but I've dated some Italian men and they're very nice.
Italian?
There's a reason there's a phrase Italian stallion. Trust
I'm going to write that down. Okay, so Italian men have the biggest ones? Are you
No,
sure?
I don't know. I haven't done all the research, but I'm just saying that I have definitely had the full Monty.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And is that why you went to women? That's got to be difficult.
No.
To handle.
I and again, I was very honest about this with Sharmin as well. I've always had an attraction to women.
Yes.
Since I was a child. I've always
more attractive.
Yeah, women are absolutely gorgeous, and there's more fun. It's more fun things to play with on a woman.
I know why
like women are great.
Yeah, they're more attractive. Listen, I know why you were attracted to Sharmin. She was running for president. She is so intelligent. She's so charismatic. She's charming. She's beautiful. She's kind. I know why you fell for her. I know why you fell for her. Everybody falls for her.
But let me say this: she's learned to use that. She's made it very clear. She's made it very clear that everyone is always. That's why she's like, "Oh, my husband, if he was to kill me, he'd have sex with me first before he did it." These are all in my text. Like these, she's made this thing where she thinks that her beauty. She's not that intelligent. I'm going to be very honest with you. She's learned how to play this role of this person. Like there's no one who knows her better than me. And she's a beautiful woman, and she'll never not be beautiful. Nobody's disputing that she's beautiful. Yeah. But that doesn't mean I wanted her. I see a lot of beautiful women every day.
So you you didn't develop a crush before?
No, of course. Oh, absolutely. But it was definitely admiration. It was more like, oh yeah, and if her and I end up together, it was great. And the point that I was making before I said that was the fact that even though I had always had this attraction to women, I had never acted on it before Sharmin. I was like, I admired women from afar. Yeah. When she found out about that is when because she knew that at that point she would have me on her team completely. That's when she changed and became dark and angry and screaming at me and abusing me and hitting. I mean, it's insane. And how overnight she turned. Like the first time I went to visit, within 3 days, she was telling me to leave because I asked one of her children for the address because I was calling my Uber. And she's like, how dare you do that? Get out and leave and don't ever. And then, but when you try to leave, then she begs you not to leave. It's insane. I can't, again, being on this is a lot for me. It's making me have to relive a lot of horrible things. But this woman is not, she's learned how to play this role.
Oh, actually, there was a misunderstanding with the question. Doctor, did we misunderstand your question?
I think she misunderstood the question. I think she gave length rather than girth. So,
well, you know what? Okay, so I'll say this. I don't know the girth. I can't.
Okay. The average male is 4.5 to 5 around, whereas I'm 8 around like a soda can.
Okay, so I can only give height. I can't give you. I've had some girth. I just can't. I can't give you a specific.
We don't measure girth, Kermit and friends.
Yeah, I gotta say I admire Barry's girth. I've seen his penis. I'm a straight male, so I've seen Barry's penis. It is an amazing. It should be like the 8th wonder of the world. Honestly,
oh my god!
My penis is like a clitoris. So I was wondering if Barry could give me his doctor's name so that I could plump up a bit. You know what I mean? Thanks, man.
All right. I guess we can do that for the men that are watching. If men want more girth, who do they go to, Barry?
So they go to Dr. Victor Loria in Doral, Florida.
Okay, that's how you got your girth. Okay, so Barry had
there you go.
Yeah, surgery. Okay, we have another doctor. This time like a real doctor, Dr. Roy.
Oh my God.
Dr. Roy, you're on with AW, Sharmin's former campaign manager.
Wow. This is like a lot for today for me.
You know what? Imagine what I went through when I saw last week's show. I'm trying to live my life and I have this horrible, I immediately reached out to Alyssa. I was like, at some point I have to stop being silent because you're not going, I have to protect myself.
I don't know what to say today. It's just
yeah. I think we expected that when we knew I was coming on, that it was going to, it's a complete opposition. But the difference is I have the proof to back it up. I had nothing. I mean, the timeline simply doesn't add up. The first thing she said last week was, oh, she's ruined my life. She's put that on her website. Her campaign manager ruined her life. But the things that she says, hurt her relationship with her husband and her children, all that happened before she even knew me. The timeline doesn't even match up. And that's why everyone she's tried to contact and do all these, they immediately, these are people who are trained to detect liars. These people literally, that's why she said, oh, the police won't help me. Help you with what? These are detectives. These are sheriffs. They know she hadn't. And that's the point. I'm not here for hearsay. Elisa, will you please admit I gave you all the evidence? I'm not here to go back and forth with Sharmin.
You know,
I'm not here to do any of that stuff.
You know,
I am here to give an honest truth. I'm not talking to Sharmin. I'm not speaking to Sharmin. I'm giving evidence to support every little thing that I'm saying.
So we will be hearing, though, you know, from Sharmin, not with you, obviously. She will, you know, she's big in this
I don't care. This will be the only response I give.
I understand.
Because this is what she wants. She wants this because it builds her platform.
Yeah, you know what,
She's attention grabbing.
I know that people are hurt from this.
I'm hurt from this. Because you know what I do, I understand sexual experiences and violence and abuse and manipulation. And this woman is building a false platform, and she's feeding off people understanding that. Because what woman doesn't either has never gone through something or knows someone who has? She knows where to play it. When you're dealing with a master manipulator, they know how to play off the vulnerable. And that's the only reason I'm here. And I'm sorry I'm getting upset because this is disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting that she would use such a platform. And she's accused so many other, again, I will repeat, I am sorry to anyone I have hurt in the process of believing her. Because I am not perfect, but I guarantee you what she is doing now, I have to be the villain. She's exhausted everyone else. People are restraining on it. People won't talk to her. Her own husband had the police escort her into their house, his house, to get his stuff because he didn't trust being alone with her. I'm done with this. This will be the last response. You can talk to Sharmin about whatever you want. I've told you I refuse to respond to her because that's what she wants. She wants us to sit here and argue, and I'm not doing hearsay. I have evidence for everything I've said.
Is it possible that it's not all black and white? It's you know, it's that she's not
in this area. No. And I'm someone who believes that we live most of our lives in the gray. With Sharmin, it's pretty black and white. It's simple. She needs to get help. People have tried to get her admitted several times, people very close to her. And I also suggested that she get inpatient treatment. No, this is black and white. This is a sick woman who needs help.
Okay, Kermit.
And I'm saying that, and I'm not angry at her. I'm not upset with her. I'm not hurt by. I moved on.
Okay,
so I'm not saying that as someone who's angry at her. I'm saying,
Brain, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so yes, Brain, yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
I
okay.
muted my computer. Sorry. Since the interview seems to be at the end, what is the game plan going forward? Anonymous woman, dealing with all this. Also, do you what are you doing currently? And do you have anything to plug or say in conclusion going forward? Like what's the end game with all this? Are you going to heal from it? How do you plan to deal with it? Is it over? Blah blah blah.
That's a good question. I'm wondering.
I think it's an excellent question.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something I was also wondering day to day. How has this affected your life? You know, the violence that you said that you endured.
Right.
And the sexual manipulation. I know the combination of that is it takes a toll on you as a person. Have you changed as a person?
I've completely changed. With the second that I got back from Florida, I immediately went into therapy. I did the work. I was like, I am a shell of a person. My family was worried about my significant weight loss. I was extremely depressed. And then COVID happened. So we were quarantined, which even made it worse. But I still stuck to a regimen because I do not deny, unlike her, when you need help. This was something that was so traumatic for me. I spent the first year in therapy, not writing reviews online as she's lied about, but focusing on myself and my family and what this has done to us. And second, no, the next plan, the next whole step is nothing for me, because what I had learned that I had to do is I had to protect myself from her. So I made it clear to everyone. So anyone she's tried to contact, everyone, they all know. You know, I had to get an attorney to monitor. He was the first one to tell me that she was trying to build her platform because he saw her website and all of this off of me, like she's done before. I've had to protect myself. I've had to watch anyone that I've led in my life since I met her. I'm now in a great relationship, and I've had to, you know, reveal things to him that I didn't want to. This has ruined me. But I will say that after that first year, I started to feel empowered again. And I started to feel good again. So everything in my life is great. Professionally, I'm doing very well. I have a lot of great things happening there. Personally, my family has been able to rebuild from this and do well. So that's why when I saw this last week, I originally wasn't going to respond, but I'm like, you know what? Who's next? Who's next in her web? I used to call it Sharmin's Web. Remember the book Charlotte's Web? I used to call it were two things I used to say about her. People, Sharmin's Web and the Sharmin Show. And what I saw last week on this show was the Sharmin Show. The crying on the command, the line. She didn't see. I came immediately with evidence. Did she do that? No.
She has evidence today to present.
Today, what happened last week when you start accusing people of things? Shouldn't you have that already ready to go?
She has evidence today, Bob.
Today, what happened the last week?
I don't think
you were accusing me and running my. I wouldn't be here if she had some evidence.
Okay, Bob. We have AW here. Question for AW.
Well, I got a few things coming out of this. I gotta tell you.
Fair enough. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind,
you might want to let her know that, Elisa.
Most everybody in the comment section are saying they don't believe you because
I don't
they
care.
can't see your face.
I don't care.
Can we see who you are? Can we see if you're really
because
beautiful?
I have to keep myself private because of this. This is the reason.
We can Google your picture. That ain't no big deal.
Yeah, knock yourself out. But I have to keep myself out of this.
Okay, so you're afraid to show your face. You're probably not good enough looking for a woman to want to hit on. That's my first clue. The second thing is, now that we know you're into white men, would you be open to doing porn? Like, would you and Sharmin get together for some revenge porn? And can I dive right in the middle of that and play referee?
I am not interested in doing porn. Sorry.
I'm very sorry about that.
No, that's funny. It's okay.
Okay, so AW, Sharmin does have evidence to present. Are you willing to
again? Well, and by the way, you can have any conversation. I've made this very clear to you. This is not my thing. I don't sit here and do a bunch of back and forth online and interviews and all of that. This is my first and last response.
Okay.
So I've set the record straight. I've provided you, Elisa, with the evidence, and that's it for me. So if you would like to bring Sharmin on after this, that's fine, but I will be hanging up. I have gotten legal counsel not to engage with her. I had to get a restraining order on her in 2019. So I have legal recourse I have to abide by right now.
Okay, I totally understand. Let's just take a quick question from Wheezy. Wheezy, you're on with AW. You're muted, Wheezy.
Oh, we can't hear him. Oh, no, you're muted.
I don't know what's going on with Wheezy, but okay. So I'd like to take a few more questions, but I just appreciate you being here so much, AW.
Hi.
Eric, what's going on?
Hi. I feel really grateful right now. For one, it doesn't feel good when I call someone that I have feelings for, and I know she has some feelings for me, and I don't get an answer. Can you hear me?
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
actually
One question I have, because I really want to be, Elisa's friend, and I know we're on a show together. And the question I have for you is, I suppose, why did you come on Kermit and Friends? What is it you were looking to resolve with Sharmin?
No, I wasn't looking for any resolution with Sharmin whatsoever. I've already made my peace with her. What happened was the show reached out to me and said that I didn't even know that this had happened. And they said, hey, listen, Kathy and Sharmin mentioned you in this video or this interview or whatever. Would you like to respond? Initially, when I saw it, I ignored it. I was very honest with Elisa about that. Then I think the next morning I woke up and something inside me was like, just watch it. And I watched it. I watched the link and immediately, and even then I still went back and forth. And I said, hey, listen, should I respond to this? And I just realized I can't keep letting this woman has ruined my life. She's tried to reach out. Everybody knows. And I've had people had to literally have like conversations, come to my house and have conversations like, this woman is very unstable. She's calling everyone. So I just decided I'll do it once. Me and Elisa had the conversation the very next morning. And I said, I will come on once. And even then she'll tell you all week I've been going back and forth about it because this is not how I operate. I'm very private.
Have you been with any women? Have you been with any women since?
No, not at all.
Good question.
Great question. Not at all.
Okay,
yeah.
so
no, she's definitely ruined that for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think it's fair to hear what Sharmin has to say. You said a lot of things about her today. She said a lot of things about you. I hope that you stick around to hear it.
I will say this. I hope the evidence that I provided is taken into account. But no, again, because of legal recourse, I will not in any way speak with her or listen to anything she has to say. So I will be leaving the interview.
Okay, so you could leave or stand by.
I will be leaving. Yes.
I think the fair thing to do. We heard your side and everything that you said. It was conflicting reports because you.
Well, the frustrating thing is that there aren't any sides. That's why I produced evidence. This is what I'm saying. I know this woman, and I already know she's going to win everyone over. People don't have to believe me. Whatever. This is my last response. I've already protected myself in my own personal space. So whatever she brings at me, it will not get another response.
Okay, I have a very interesting caller that did not mute their audio. Yes, can you mute the show?
Hello?
Yeah, Coach Love, can you mute the YouTube in the background?
Yeah, sorry
Thank you.
about that.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in, Coach Love.
Okay, so I have several questions for AW.
Sure.
Okay.
How you doing, by the way?
Good.
A little heated right now, but overall good. I'm glad to be revealing the truth.
I think that I wasn't sure who you were talking to, but I'm doing great. I'm happy. I'm a little unhappy right now. I wish that they would speak with each other because I really want Sharmin to come on with her rebuttal to this. I think it's important, but I think AW is very hurt. I think Sharmin's hurt. I think there's a lot of hurt people here, and it's confusing. And it's deep. This is not a superficial little problem, like internet problem. This is like a real life big deal. And so I think there's a lot of emotions involved right now.
I can tell she's really frustrated and hurt. I'm curious about a couple of things, though. So she's labeled herself as bi, but she's saying that Sharmin's the only woman she's been with. Is that right?
Yes, Sharmin was the only woman she's been with. She had bisexual feelings before Sharmin. It took Sharmin to bring them out. I think Sharmin maybe was the aggressor, but we're going to find out because we're going to talk to Sharmin very shortly. It sounds like Sharmin might have hit on anonymous woman. Maybe not. We're going to get all the sides. That's very important to me to get Sharmin's side today. It's extremely important, the most important right now, because we heard a lot from AW.
Okay, well, hold on, because also I haven't heard her talk about anything that Kathy said about her, because Kathy had some stories about her. She said that anonymous woman was always making up stories about being raped, and that she had done some damage in her life. Also, I haven't heard anonymous woman take any responsibility in the particular relationship. So is she saying that she did absolutely nothing wrong? I'm just curious about these things.
Ooh, those are great questions. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so I'll yeah, thank you so much. Coach Love's still watching. Yeah, baby. Okay. Sorry. Coach Love was someone that quit the show, but she's still here. That's awesome. Okay, so did you hear that, AW?
I absolutely did. And I think I literally just said before she called, I'm not perfect in this. I am not coming on here to be a martyr. That is not what I'm doing.
Okay.
And to address that, yes, I've always had attractions to women. I just never played on them.
Yeah, you have to be in the right situation.
And that's not abnormal for someone to not feel, to have certain feelings and not act on them. So I take full responsibility. I left myself wide open. I had someone who was, it wasn't just, oh, I want to have sex with you. It was, oh, I'm going to build some kind of life with you. And I told you, and I definitely want to address Kathy because I'm about to log off, but I have also given you evidence to dispute Kathy. So no, Kathy has not been left out of this. Whoever just called, I'm so sorry. I forgot the name. Kathy was not left out of this.
Well, did you mention so I did a pre-interview with you. Right. And you did mention that you and Sharmin were thinking of getting married.
I wouldn't
One
say
second.
married. I think that's a little too far.
Did you say that?
I mean, but we had definitely been discussing life decisions together.
Life decisions. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly. Shit. Wait. Kelly Taylor. Hold on. Smokey. Yes.
Hello, I have a question for an anonymous woman. I want to know, did you get raped at the Super Bowl? And like, did you think that lady had something to do with it? When I was
You know
Good
what?
question. Thank you, Smokey.
No, it's a great question. It's a great question. What I'm going to say to that is the fact that what was said is not true. I never once said anything like that to Kathy. I would love for her to produce some kind of evidence that said that. I never said that to Kathy. And the only time I discussed the Super Bowl with Sharmin is when I was discussing it. I was the year anniversary of when I was actually at the Super Bowl. I was in Florida at the time with Sharmin, and I mentioned to Sharmin about that I had been at the last Super Bowl, and that's kind of how all of that transpired. She was making fake Twitter accounts. She was trying to really get after. It wasn't the Super Bowl. Let me explain this to you guys. It wasn't the NFL that she was trying to attack. This all stems from her ex-husband, where he works, and I'll leave that out of this. But she was trying to say that they had a culture, and at the time they were in a controversy here in Philly, actually. And with Meek Mills and all this other stuff, she was trying to attack them because of her issues with the way they've handled women and dealt with women, and her husband working for this company. So this wasn't an attack on the NFL or the Super Bowl. She was trying to make these connections and put this together to attack. It was all at the end of the day about her divorce. And I told her, I'm not here for any of that. She does a very good job of creating stories.
Okay. We have Kelly Taylor. We have Kelly Taylor online. Yes, Kelly Taylor.
Yes, I have a question for AW. Last week, Sharmin and that other woman, and the stories are flying. Kathy. The stories are flying so fast and furious. But one or both of them said that AW had a history of just crying rape, being raped. She had all these rapes in her past. Is any of that true? Have you ever been raped? And if so, how many times? Because Sharmin seems to think that you're always saying you're being raped.
Right. And you know what's funny about that? No, that's a great question, because you know what's beautiful about that? It's so great, because the reality is everything I'm saying right now, she's actually the one who's always claimed to be raped. She's been saying it since she was like, all these things happened. All these men did all these things. Husbands did all these things. So I think if you look at how she's posed, it's her story trying to put it on my face. So no, I do not have a history of saying that I've been raped and attacked. I will put that on anything in my life right now. I have never once said that. I've had issues in my past with men, especially when I was younger. But this is the whole story she's telling is actually the same thing she told me. It's all a part of the same lie being.
Okay, Smokey, just hold. Yes, Brain.
Yeah, last week, Kathy said she gave you an invite. She acknowledged that she gave you an invite to the Super Bowl party, and she claimed she wasn't at the party. Was she there?
You know what? You know what's frustrating me right now?
What?
What's frustrating me right now the most, and I'm going to be very honest with you, Alyssa, is that I didn't want to have to answer these questions because I provided the evidence for it, and I'm upset that evidence hasn't been shown.
So that evidence that you're mentioning, I just want to tell everybody what that is, because it is important. So what anonymous woman sent me were a lot of emails. Okay, so in my inbox, I have emails of, let's go through this, that were attached.
So to answer the caller's question, though, I sent you these random tickets that Kathy kept trying to give me that they were not even Super Bowl parties. They were like in dive bars outside of Minneapolis at the time. And, so she was like, oh, she must have did all of this for tickets. Oh, really? Because I didn't get Super Bowl tickets from you. Yeah. I didn't even get Super Bowl I mean, literally, it would be like we would go to a bar, no one would be there. It'd be like a bowling alley, all kinds of things. So when we went to one of them and left, and no, she was not there. And I remember texting her the next day and was like, why did you even send us to this?
Yeah, I have that.
She didn't have any pull for anything. I don't know why she would even get on and say, "Oh, yeah, I did this for a bunch of $50 tickets to a dive bar." Yeah. That was my intention. You know, I mean, it's silly. This whole thing that they've created is silly, and it bears no. It's disgusting.
My phone actually overheated last night due to all the evidence.
My
phone.
And I want to make that clear. I gave this to her beforehand because I'm
hold on.
I'm not here to retaliate. I'm not here to retaliate. I'm not here to be angry. You know, she's trying to act like I'm some. What did she say? The sheriff said, "This isn't my real name. This is the name on my birth certificate." She's trying.
Okay, so we have Tammy, my Facebook friend Tammy, calling in. Yes, Tammy.
This is incredible. I've been waiting for somebody to call out Sharmin, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Wow, really? Why?
Because, like I told you when I first started messaging you,
she
came on kind of all disheveled, and then each time she got more glamorous and more glamorous, like she was the host of the show.
But what's wrong with that, Tammy? Tammy, I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, I like that Sharmin is glamorous. I like that she's intelligent. I want to get her side to this. It's very important to me. So you don't like Sharmin because she looks beautiful?
No, I'm not saying I don't like her. I'm just saying that I believe this woman, that I think Sharmin is a drama queen, and she loves all the attention.
Okay, so you think that she's a drama queen. See, I've been called a drama queen myself, so it's hard to...
No, it's different.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, Tammy. So you believe AW. That's basically what you're saying.
There's three sides to every story.
Right.
Her side, and the truth. So I think that I appreciate this woman coming on and giving her side of the story. I wish we could see her so we could see her expressions. I think it would be more believable. But I do believe that Sharmin makes up a lot of stuff. I mean, statistics show only 1 in 5 women are raped. And Sharmin accused this woman of being raped multiple times. That's unbelievable.
That's an interesting thing. I never looked up that statistic.
No. Let me say this.
That's interesting, Tammy. Thank you for your call. That is interesting. I never looked up the statistics. 1 in 5 women.
And let me say this. Let me say this again. I'm going to keep reiterating this because it's important to me. I am not trying to retaliate against her. I'm just trying to tell the truth. Okay. And the reality is, I even told you, she's told me that before her platform was, I'm just going to piss a bunch of people off so that I can get the attention. And then it was, all these men have done all these horrible things to me. That was to get the attention. But she's openly said to me that everything with her is attention grabbing. It's shock value. It's shock value. Sharmin is someone who wants the attention. She's trying to build her platform, and she's using it for the most vulnerable people. And I'm angry and I'm livid. I wish she would come after me. I'm going to publicly say that. I wasn't going to say that because I have more than enough protection now, more than the people who've gone through her nonsense. And everyone has come to the same conclusion I've come to. This is all a part, and she's so good at it. She'll cry on command. She'll make it seem like she was a victim. What did she say last week? Oh, I said that she was rallying up women for this man to rape. How did that happen? If that happened at the Super Bowl in Minnesota, how are you rallying up women in Florida? That makes no sense. Nothing she says adds up to any facts or timeline. This is what I'm saying. Thank you for calling in. And those reviews that we just saw on Goodreads that I did not do, they're probably other people who weren't comfortable letting her know who they were. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that the things that they said on there are absolutely accurate. They're absolutely accurate. She needs, so many people have tried to get her to get help. She's borderline bipolar. She's addicted to medicinal marijuana. She has issues. I want Sharmin to be better. Even after all she's done to me and all the things I have to get over, I still am saying, I don't hate you. It's like hating someone when you tried to bully a kid in school, you found out their parents were getting a divorce, right? like you feel bad. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at her. I want her to get help.
Okay. We have Daniel. He's a new person here. Can you unmute Daniel?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes. Perfectly.
Okay, just a couple points. Sharmin is really starting to give off some Hillary Clinton vibes here.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, big time. I have to admit, the longer this goes on, the more I am starting to believe Anonymous Woman. I'm not sensing any duper's glee in her voice. She doesn't seem to be making mistakes like somebody that would be acting. She's not showing her face. That can be looked at both ways. You could say that she might be lying and she doesn't want to show her face, or she might be making it clear she's not in this for any sort of attention or anything.
That's why I'm doing it, yes.
And also, I want to say that if Sharmin is indeed bipolar people can be extremely, extremely manipulative.
Yes.
And this whole thing about rape accusations and stuff like that, that may actually be kind of like, I mean, Sharmin seems very smart. I can tell.
She's extremely intelligent. Extremely. Yeah. She's so smart. She speaks so well. She's
definitely perfected her manipulation for sure.
Okay, so is it manipulation or, I mean, why is it manipulation? Because when anybody's performing or anybody's doing anything, like, is this whole show manipulation? I mean,
no. I think you're seeing it in a wrong light. This is the thing, is that when you're not as smart, you're not, whatever the case may be, and I'm not going to speak to her intelligence. I don't know. But I will say this, what you do is you perfect it.
Okay.
You perfect it very well. Because let me tell you something, and I actually feel like I had a hand in that, because I have the videos where I used to try to set her up with investors. I had her go to an investor group so they can donate to her campaign in Florida, right? And we went there and I videotaped it because she wanted to do this like reality show of showing her on the campaign trail, et cetera, et cetera. And 5 minutes into her speaking, people were walking out. She was saying that Hillary Clinton was a hoe. She was saying, and I have the video for that.
Okay, Anonymous Woman,
people were just like walking out on her. She doesn't. So I think I had a part in that because I told her you had to change your image. No, what you're seeing is a perfection.
Okay, so Anonymous Woman, I have to take a little break because I got to get to my musical guest Wappy and then bring Sharmin on. So any final words before I bring the guest and then Sharmin? Any final words?
My only final words is that, listen, like I said, this is the first and last time that I'm going to do this. I have moved on with my life. I have dealt with the trauma. My family, everyone has had to deal with the trauma of what this woman has put me through.
Okay.
And I'm not going to cry on command. But I am feeling very emotional about this. And the reality is that there's a reason and again, you could tell this is some made up story, who literally escapes all these law enforcement. And she's saying, I'm high, and Kathy's like, I'm going to help you find her. My name is the same. My email is the same. My phone number is the same. The only thing that's not the same is that both of them have been blocked from them.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Lisa, my name's Bill. I have something I want to say. I think it's important that because she came in and gave you all this information, it's important that on the next show or sometime in the near future that you read all the evidence that the anonymous guest presented to you.
I need to hire someone to hire someone to help me with that, because I have so many emails from both sides of evidence. I need a printer. I don't have a printer. There's so much, Bill. I need help compiling the evidence. It's too much evidence.
Once you're ready, it's important that you read the evidence that she presented, that she sent you, so we can hear and listen to everything that you were sent.
Okay.
Evidence from both sides.
Okay. That's a good idea. I should do that. You're right. That's a lot of work, but okay, Bill.
Well, let me say this.
Okay,
and that was going to be a part of my final statement. Is that I will be honest, I'm very angry right now that wasn't done, because I didn't want to have to go through this, because it's just become another episode of hearsay. And and that was what I was trying to avoid the entire time.
1 second.
Is the reason I presented that evidence, and I did that, is because I don't want to. I'm not doing this little recess whining, arguing on the playground banter. I'm not about that. And that's the reason I gave the evidence, so that I didn't have to put myself through this again. So I am very upset that wasn't displayed. And then we're about to bring Sharmin on, but she'll be able to have her stuff publicly displayed, and mine hasn't.
Well,
but at the same time, I'm done with it. Like I said, this is my only. I don't care who believes me, who doesn't. I've presented the right evidence. I've done what I could do, and that's it. I walk away from this now.
Okay, I understand. Okay, Kermit and friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Elise, that's Ava.
Oh, hi, Ava. Thanks for calling in.
Hi. Well, I just wanted to thank Anonymous Women for her testimony. And then also, I wanted to follow up on what another caller mentioned earlier about 1 in 5 women has been the victim of a sexual assault. And that's actually a large amount of women.
Yeah.
She kind of said it's not very many. But then a lot of women actually get repeated assaults because they've been through a lot of trauma and they just kind of attract those types of people. So I just wanted to give that information because I didn't want to downplay anything for anybody.
Well, that is interesting information because that would definitely apply to this on both ends. I am kind of confused about that part of it. But yeah, okay, so if she was saying that a lot of people raped her, but now she's saying she didn't say that. And she's saying Sharmin said that.
Yeah, I would just I'm confused about that too, but it does happen. It does have people do have multiple assaults. It's common.
Yeah, so would you say to believe everyone until what?
I would say it's really hard to know what to believe, and I would say like I would listen with sympathy and empathy to both of them. I do want to hear Sharmin's side too.
Yeah, I really want to hear that.
But this has been really interesting, and I appreciate that she had the courage to come forward.
Thank you, Ava. Great call. Okay,
yes. Can I just say one last thing before I hang up? Also,
sure.
I want to make it very clear, and I was very honest with you about this as well.
Yes.
That Sharmin, because I used to work a lot at her house and on her computer, she's had access to my emails, my phones, everything. So I don't know what she's bringing to the table. I don't care. Again, I will not be witnessing. I will not be responding. I will not be anything. But be very careful of that. When you're dealing with a master manipulator, they know how to put evidence out there that supports their mental illness. So I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
And I'm going to say goodbye. I will not listen to anything she has to do, and I will not be responding to anything that comes next. But I appreciate you letting me on. I'm going to be very honest. I'm very upset right now about that because these are things I didn't want to have to relive. And that's why I produced the evidence. So I am very angry about that, but I do still appreciate you letting me be on. And I hope that the rest of the show goes well.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on Kermit and Friends. You are amazing. Okay, now everybody just enjoy Wappy, and then we're going to hear from Sharmin.
On a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine moaning out its one lone song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before. But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do. Riding 16 hours, there's nothing much to do. You don't feel much like riding, just wish the trip was through. Here I am, on the road again. There I am, up on the stage. There I go, playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. Where you walk to a restaurant, the road, feel the eyes upon you, shaking off the cold. Pretend it doesn't bother you, but you just want to explode. Most times you can't hear them talk other times you can. All the same old cliches. Is that a woman or man? You seem outnumbered. You don't dare take a stand. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. There I go, playing the star again. Here I go, turn the page.
Sharmin.
Hi.
Hi.
Where do we start?
I don't know. Do you want to respond to
where do you want to start?
Well, was that her?
I heard things today I've never heard before, and it does sound like her, absolutely.
Okay, because at first you said it might be an imposter.
Right. Well, after Wits In contacted me and said that he put his phone number out, and some girl called and said that she was her employee and wanted to clear the air.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything is possible. I stopped gathering receipts, didn't bother to send you any emails or anything until what's her name started talking, so I knew what to send.
I just have so many emails.
Where do you even want to start, right?
I don't know. I mean, I have my own court documents I have to worry about. I mean,
right. And are we allowed to disclose people's businesses? Now, clearly those court documents say you can't disclose home addresses. What does it say about their businesses?
Well, the thing is I felt weird about posting the emails. I could have done that. She sent me emails and I felt weird about posting emails. I wasn't sure if that was.
I really want to see the emails. I loved it when she said that thing about how she was in my house and I had access to her phones, and I'm totally not a tech person. I don't even own my electronics after she was in my house. So it would be interesting to see just what her emails even say, right? Like I have my string of emails from her and from her attorney and from her sister-in-law, right, where they discuss and disclose things. I have my emails from the police officer who investigated us in Minneapolis, right? I don't have an email from the sheriff in Philadelphia that was a phone call and it wasn't recorded, right? But I've got some police reports from here in Jacksonville from where she and I have issues, where she accused somebody of coming to my house in May, where they were trespassing, where she insisted she was raped then. And that was like the last straw for me in May. Like, I left my house 20 minutes ago and somebody's been here to rape you. Oh, for the love of God. She wanted to go home to where she was born so she could die. And I drove her back to Philadelphia and dropped her off at a mental institution. I made her sign a contract promising not to cut herself anymore, try to kill herself, and not to accuse me of being anything like Kathy. You can see she owes me money, right? Her signature, my signature, sadly no date, right? There's dates on the contracts for making me a partner to her business and involving me in her nonprofit that she created because of the girl who committed suicide in December of 2018, right? I've got screenshots from where she threatened to drop a sex tape online and send it to all my family and friends and my children. Don't forget, she was staying in my house for a couple of months and she had unlimited access to me. And when she started accusing me, when she started telling me she had this sex tape, I was humiliated. I don't even know what is on it. I have never seen it. She was in my house. I can assure you the police in Minneapolis have it. There's been so many things with this woman at this point in time, and we absolutely did try to have some sort of relationship. She approached me in December of 2018. She has a thing for long, dark-haired women. She wanted to chew on my hair. She wanted us to have a threesome with her husband, blah, blah, blah. She came to Jacksonville. We tried to do something. We tried to do something. It didn't get very far. She violently assaulted me and knocked my urethral sling loose. I've been to multiple doctors over it. I feel like I don't feel like finger banging is rape, but I know plenty of people in this community who do. She caused me physical pain and permanent physical damage because I have a long history of picking people who abused me. I'm not eligible for another surgery to fix it.
Wait, urethral, what did you call
Sling.
it?
On a urethral sling. You're welcome to Google it. It helps me pee. I haven't been able to pee right since I met her.
Oh my God. Kermit and friends.
Hi, Alyssa. I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Sharmin just said she has a police report that states that AW stated she was raped by the Jacksonville Police Department.
It started out as a
Discord, and if she has that report, I would be very curious to read it.
Okay, thank you, John. All reports
will be trespassing police report. She later went on to say that someone came to the house and raped her. I filed a trespassing report, and I asked her, go to the hospital. Why didn't you say something when the cops were here? She's always got a good story. Right? She stayed in my house with me for months. I believed everything she had to say. Kathy believed everything she had to say. Kathy and I both heard the same story about how her dad used to pimp her out to business contacts, and that's where a bunch of her business contacts come from. There's a dog trainer in Chicago that Kathy saved from a rape accusation from Zarina. I'd love to get Toriano here. There's more than one person.
Wow. Okay. So did she say anything that was true? Like the thing in the hotel room?
We were gonna have a relationship. If I was going to have a relationship with somebody, I would absolutely want it to be my campaign manager so I could have some privacy. But let's be 100% clear. If I had a relationship with a woman, I'd flaunt her ass all over the fucking place, especially as a Democrat. Absolutely be a lesbian presidential candidate. Come on. No.
Actually, yeah, that would have worked out.
What she did to me, what she put me through, I will forever believe every man's crazy woman story until the end of time. And this is so not even close to being over with yet. What happened between her and I takes so much more than just the damage that she caused with my children, just the damage that she caused to my reputation. It's so much more than just the police reports and the sex tapes. It's so much more than the book reviews that popped up last year. I sent you the emails where she just started popping up with the reviews were going to come in. I sent you the thing from the police. You're welcome to look at everything, right? Whatever. Like, this so much more than this. This woman's reach in my life was so impactful in every way. She wouldn't leave me alone. I haven't plugged my computer in since I moved into my new house because I don't own my electronics. When I first started here at this show in February, I had 2 successful weeks. And then the third week, I couldn't even log in because another app had control of my microphone and my camera. I couldn't even log into this show because somebody else owns my electronics.
This show?
This show. I had to go buy a laptop that I only use for this show, period.
What does she have? Who has control over your electronics?
Like, she's got control of my electronics. She's a tech person. I hired her because she's a tech person. Tech's not my thing, right? I don't like the tech stuff. It's not my thing. I don't even want to learn how to make clips out of YouTube stuff.
I'll teach you.
Y'all seen me do that. I don't do the tech stuff.
You should learn that. But okay,
Yeah.
so let me tell you this. Okay, so the thing that I thought was interesting and what I had a hard time understanding is okay, so you guys, like, your romantic relationship to the violence, like, how did that
The romantic relationship ended the first 2 days of January when she knocked my sling loose. There was no way in hell I would let her touch me again.
So aggressive sexually? Is that what?
Yeah, no. She was violent with me. It was horrible. It was the first time I'd ever been with a woman. Ew, I won't ever do it again.
I'm sure all women aren't like that. So
I'm sure they're not, but I'm not interested in figuring out.
Okay, so you're saying like the digital.
I'll wait for you forever. This is fucking July by the time she was waiting for me forever. This woman made my life absolute hell.
Okay. So were you afraid to speak up during those so the sexual encounters that were aggressive?
One.
Okay, so one bad sexual encounter, was that the only sexual encounter?
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't let her touch me again. And she begged. She wanted a relationship with me. She had these sex tapes, and if I didn't come be with her, she was going to release them to my children. She was going to post them online.
Wow.
She called the cops and told them I was suicidal and had the cops come to my house.
Jeez. Okay, so
she told my attorney.
That
my guardian ad litem, my friends, my family, my daughter.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have a caller, Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, I'd like to pursue this urethral sling a little bit further. I think a lot of people are in the dark about it. I'm pride myself on knowing most things, but I've never heard of a urethral sling.
It's my first time.
Why do you need it, and what is it? I mean,
yeah, I should look it up. That's a good question, Brain. I don't know.
I have a long list of mental and physical health issues that are associated with the assaults I survived as a child. I don't like to go to the Discord chat because everybody in there likes to throw around the word prolapse like it's not a big deal, right? Like I haven't had 2 surgeries to fix that.
Wait, it's a device. I thought it was a body part, but it's actually a device. A urethral sling is a device that is surgically implanted to stabilize the pelvic tissues and organs of women. So you have a device. Oh, because of what she did to you?
No. I because of the assaults that I survived as a child, I have had multiple surgeries to repair my pelvic organ prolapse. It's called a POP, right? Most people don't realize women can pop. And I've had multiple surgeries. And one of them is a urethral sling, which makes it possible for me to pee comfortably. She knocked it loose, and I've been having trouble ever since. I can't get another surgery to fix it.
Okay, so after she knocked the urethral sling loose, were you still dating her?
No, but I was still tied in with her with the campaign and her story about what had happened to her in Minneapolis. I still had a contract with her to fulfill a bunch of stuff she was supposed to do for my campaign, right? Make a website, some marketing stuff. She has all these great connections, right? That never actually materialized. The same story she gave Kathy. Kathy and I had several long conversations.
Okay. Yeah,
she didn't do anything except for destroy my life.
Yeah. Okay. So 30% of women experience vaginal prolapse. It's also not uncommon. Oh God, this is so bad.
No, like my female issues are all the extra.
Yeah. Okay.
And she knew that. I was afraid to be intimate with anyone. I gave her those details and she went right after it to hurt me. The first time we were together, within a couple of minutes, immediately shut it down. I never let her touch me again.
Wow. Okay. So then she was still in your house, or she was still around?
She was around. She came to my house. She stayed at my house. I threw her out a couple of times. She'd show back up with some new story. She was always sick. She has pancreatitis and she's an alcoholic. So she was in and out of the hospital several times while she was here in Jacksonville. So the fact that Corey's there with that right now was one of the reasons I was pretty sure it was she that was showing up today.
Yeah. Wow. I guess like this is still not resolved.
My medical stuff is way, way more complicated than all this. And last month when I saw another specialist, and he told me because I have a long-standing history of picking people who abuse me, I'm not a candidate for another surgery because it's just a matter of time till somebody hurts me again.
What?
Yeah. So I just get to live like this for the rest of my life. Super happy about it.
All the doctors say that?
I had a real interesting doctor's appointment last May. last May, I had a real interesting doctor's appointment right after she contacted me with these reviews, that email she sent me where the reviews were going to start up and the book reviews started up. I asked my doctor to see a specialist. There was no specialist in my insurance company's network. And within 2 or 3 days, somebody had gotten approved and they had an appointment for me. I was in front of a doctor within a week. It was like the greatest thing ever. Like a specialist fell from the sky and was available to see me immediately. I was super happy about it. My doctor and my insurance company called me and asked me if I really wanted that appointment because it was so strange. It just wasn't normal the way it happened. And it wasn't a normal doctor appointment either. It was the weirdest doctor appointment I've ever had in my entire life. And I ended up filing a grievance against that doctor because it was the creepiest doctor appointment I ever had. And my insurance company paid for me to see an out-of-network doctor. And so I have a specialist who's out of network, who I went through a whole bunch of tests the last couple of months. I received my information. I got my bad news. I got some physical therapy and another device for the rest of my life.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to talk about any of this. All this is super embarrassing. I don't want to share any of this for sure, but I absolutely will. There's so much more that happened. This woman is so connected. Her reach is so far. I absolutely loved it last week when I was talking to Kathy and she told me Mike Lindell was somebody she knew. For sure, Mike Lindell's somebody Zarina knows too. All that white oleander nonsense Mike Lindell likes to spew about how white oleander is going to cure COVID. Zarina likes to call me white oleander. After I drove her to the mental hospital and dropped her off in Philadelphia so she could get whatever help she needed. Really, whatever she needed. After all the suicide attempts, after all the cutting, after all the, your husband raped me, after everything that she put me through for months. And you're right, she was right. I did absolutely get aggressive with her. I put my hands on her shoulder and I pushed her up against a wall and my neighbors absolutely saw it. I didn't hit anybody else. I didn't touch anybody else. And she immediately called my attorneys, the guardian ad litem, told everybody not to let me around my kids. She switched immediately. She went from being this outrageous person. She was losing it. We were both losing it. We were both fighting. And as soon as I put my hands on her, she immediately became calm. She did the same thing to Kathy. Kathy has a similar story too.
Wow, Kermit and friends.
Sharmin, yeah, is it my bad hearing, or did you just reveal that anonymous woman accused your husband of rape? Because you never really revealed that.
More than once.
You said it was someone close to you.
More than once.
She accused of rape. Did you just reveal that it was your husband she accused of rape?
More than once.
Okay, I understand.
Wow. Okay. Anonymous woman is texting me. She's livid right now.
Oh, I bet she's mad.
She's really mad. She says,
this is about so much more for me than just the money she owes me. This is about so much more than just the pain that she caused me with my children.
Okay, so I'm beyond livid. You used me.
Yeah, you were the one using people.
Yeah, I told you I wouldn't speak to Sharmin, but I didn't make her. I wanted her to speak to you. Trust me.
I don't want to speak to her. I know what her phone number is. I can find her. I don't give a shit about her.
Okay, this was not a safe space. This has done more damage than being silent. You told me not to tell anyone I'd be on the show because I was afraid. I mean, everybody knew that she was going to be on the show, right? I mean,
I want every person she's ever done business with to know what she is like as a professional. This is about so much more for me than just telling my story, right? Huh. Oh, I'm manipulative. It's my platform. I'm trying to destroy people. Okay.
Oh, I have a caller. This is a good call. This is a lawyer, actually. Yes, Kermit and friends.
Hey, Elisa, it's Chad.
Hey, Chad. Thanks for calling in. Help.
Hey, a quick question. Would Sharmin be willing to release her sex tape on Barry's Roku channel?
Huh.
I think it would be a big hit. Maybe you can ask her. Love you, Lisa.
Love you, Chad. All right, that was Chad.
I've never personally seen the sex tape. I don't know what is on the sex tape. I know that she was blackmailing me and threatening me with a sex tape. She threatened to send it to my children. I told her it was child pornography. I've got the text messages where she's going to release it online. I don't know where it is or what it looks like.
So
It's probably the worst sex tape on the planet.
No, it's probably good. Wait,
it's gotta be bad.
The one time that you were with AW, she filmed it?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
So how could she have a sex tape with you if you weren't having sex?
It's a video of me pleasuring myself.
Oh, is that the video you sent to her?
No.
She told me that you sent her a video like that.
I think we were FaceTiming through Facebook, and Facebook recorded it. And when the police pulled the FISA warrant and took all of our data from Facebook, that's when they got it.
You pleasured yourself on Facebook?
Apparently I did.
That is not a good decision, Sharmin. You know
No,
right?
it's not. Especially not with her, because she's obviously going to record it and release it everywhere and send it to my kids and release it online. Like, this is the worst situation ever. Like, I fucked up my whole life with this woman.
Wait, it was Facebook?
Whole life.
Facebook?
Messenger.
Facebook Messenger. Sharmin.
I know.
That is
you said my whole story. I told you it was going to be embarrassing.
That's not good. Even I admit that's not good.
I know.
Do not do that, obviously.
I know. Obviously,
everybody
I'm in no relationships now. I'm not Facebook timing with anybody ever again, and she's why.
Seriously.
I'm not dating ever again. She's why.
That was the worst decision of all
I've
time.
made some bad decisions, but I'm here honestly owning it.
Wow. You never.
I can't even think about running another campaign without this heifer releasing it everywhere.
Wow. Yeah. Don't pleasure yourself on Facebook or Instagram.
No, nothing with video.
Anywhere.
Nothing with cameras, no video, no camera, no nothing.
Social media is not a place to pleasure yourself.
No.
You need to pleasure
Then
yourself.
you can't trust anybody. Trust nobody. Trust no woman. Trust no man. Trust nobody who's the same gender or an opposite. Trust nobody.
Yes. Okay. Let's just take some questions. Let's see. Dr. Frankencock, question for Sharmin.
So, Sharmin, you had this sex tape and you were pleasuring yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what went through your mind at that time? Was it a woman or was it a giant big cock? That may have been
definitely a giant big cock. Oh, it was a monster cock fairy. It was
a monster cock.
A monster cock. I wouldn't
it had to have been a monster cock, right?
I'm not gonna touch mine. I'm not touching anybody else's either. Yeah. I can wash your hand like COVID got on it. Gross.
Wait, you weren't thinking of Zarina during
No,
that?
no, for sure.
Have you
not.
ever thought of Zarina? Masturbated to images of Zarina?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
No.
All right, let's go to Dr. Roy. Dr. Roy, you must have a thought.
Oh my god. My god. This is a little
Dr. Roy's heard all this before.
He has?
Dr. Roy's heard all this before. He's heard all about the whole situation. He's heard the whole story.
Wow.
This is crazy. Like all this.
She wanted some drama for her show, so I was like, "Girl, I got you."
I just don't know what to say sometimes because all this stuff is.
It's miserable, but there was so much stuff that happened last year in 2020 that only made sense to me, right? I tried to tell this story about the NFL Super Bowl party with the gang rapes and the football players to a reporter with Huffington Post. She handles sexual assault stories for the Huffington Post, and her first name is Alana. So the two girls that Zarina told me had committed suicide were named Alana and Alicia. So when the Huff Post reporter came into my world of, into my little circle, and her name was Alana, just like the girl who had committed suicide, I thought it was a sign from the universe that my mess was going to get cleaned up. And then that didn't work out, right? That didn't work out. And then a bunch of weird technology stuff took place right at that same time, right? But when Elisa showed up in February, and again, Alana and Alicia, I just knew, like, this is how my story is going to get told and get broken, and this is how it's all going to make sense.
I just don't
know.
I don't know what to say. All this stuff, and it's like
so
these
much
two
more.
stories,
There's so much more.
And there's a lot of details, and there's physical hurt and emotional hurt, And it's like, I don't know, how do you get through all this, and how do you just move on?
I don't know how. And I tried to just close everything down and move on and get on with my life. But she would show back up every couple of months, and I would start getting phone calls from blocked numbers, and I would start getting all these emails from her, from her multiple different accounts where she's communicating. It was so ironic to me, right? When I got the email from her last April the 24th, 2020, when the reviews were going to get started posting about my book and all over the place. And she made a comment about how she had heard somebody was trying to get me inpatient care and trying to have me admitted into a mental health facility. And it was really ironic because I had just lost my therapist the month before. And
what do you mean lost?
She felt like I was participating in risk-taking behavior, and she stopped treating me.
Your therapist quit? That is very strange. We got to call her. Kermit and Friends.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to make a bid. Right now, I'm going to put in my bid for Sharmin's sex tape of $2,000. It's my opening bid.
I don't think Sharmin has that tape.
I don't have it. Like, I don't even know what's on it.
I think Serena has it.
She could have been walking around my bedroom while I was sleeping, videoing me, and I wouldn't know any different.
Yeah. That's Serena who has the sex tape. So Serena, what she told me is that you were sending her pictures and video.
We were videoing and chatting back and forth with each other. There was never anything naked. She's not like I sent her boobs or hoo-ha butt pictures.
She said it was naked in a bathtub.
Yeah, but she didn't see anything, just my legs. You can see that walking around in my shorts.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, do you want to see my legs? It's not that big of a deal.
People
just
do.
legs.
Okay. So, all right. So this has been very interesting.
Yeah, it's still not over.
Yeah, Serena is very mad at me right now.
Oh, I bet she's pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed.
Oh, for sure. She doesn't want any of her business associates to know anything about this. Do you remember a couple months ago, I sent you a screenshot from somebody who had connected with me on LinkedIn. I sent you their email address on that screen.
Who was that? Was that
somebody?
I don't remember who that is. Is that somebody affiliated with this?
Oh, for sure. Somebody connected with this. For sure. She pushed that person towards me. That person never would have found me if it hadn't have been for Serena. She crossed a line with that one.
Okay. All right. So this is a lot to digest, right? I think we're all just trying to figure out what's going on.
Love you too, Brain. Thanks.
Yeah, everyone loves you, Sharmin. We had to. I really wanted to have you guys on at the same time. She would.
There's no way she's going to do it.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Sorry.
There's no way she's going to do that. She told so many stories today that I had never heard before.
Really?
It was
like
fascinating, right? Like the restraining order in 2019. I mean, the cop told me to get a restraining order in 2019. You can see
restraining orders. Like anybody can get them. Turns out, Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Elisa, it's Chad. So I just want to say to Sharmin, there really is some genuine interest in getting this sex tape, the Sharmin sex tape.
Yeah.
And so Brain, it sounds like Brain just called in.
I knew there would be.
Sharmin, would you be okay if Brain or Barry or others tried to track down that tape and purchase it and then put it on Barry's Roku channel? And by the way, I just want to say real quick, I think everyone should know that Barry has a Roku channel and he's uploading Elisa's old shows on it. So people should check that out if you have Roku.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Chad. I know you were in charge of Barry being Dr. Frankencock for like Halloween, so that was really cool. And we really appreciate that. It was perfect for today and, anytime he wants. So thank you, Chad.
All right, love you, Lisa.
Love you. That was Chad's idea. It was a great idea. So yeah, everybody would want to buy your sex tape.
I honestly thought it might help me get elected.
Oh, really? It might.
I mean, come on now. I mean, actually, in this day and age, come on now.
Yeah, you should just give it to people.
I mean, like if I knew how to get it, you'd just stick it up on your screen every week. I'd be dueling time with Eric.
Yeah, Eric's actually naked right now. It's very
I know Eric's naked right now.
How do you know? Oh, he is naked. Yeah,
Eric's always naked.
Yeah, I'd love to put him on, but he's naked, Eric. I can't put you on. Okay, so today on the wrap-up show, which I have a feeling will be a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one this week.
Wait, before I say this, are you happy at all with what was
I'm not
uncovered?
upset with you at all in any of this. I'm still so grateful to you for everything. I was so glad when you texted me or messaged me Wednesday and told me that the anonymous woman had contacted you and that she was going to be on the show. I really appreciated you giving me the heads up. I like that. Like I don't care if at this point in time, at this point in time, this woman has done so much to me. I have long ago embraced the reality that I'm actually one of her business contacts told me that if I was being accused of anything, I needed to just come out publicly and lay all the things on the table publicly and just let it all play out. And if I truly care about getting involved in politics, that needs to be the way I handle it. And she was there with me when it happened. And I couldn't bring myself to tell her story at the time. I was so embarrassed and humiliated and ashamed. I didn't even know how to deal with everything. And it just kept coming, right? And then she was going to send the sex tape to my kid. She was going to send it to the guardian ad litem. She made it so I couldn't be alone with my children for months. This is about so much more than the money that bitch owes me. She was going to pay me. She'd have paid me a long time ago. This is all about destroying my life. Everything she did to me, from donating to my campaign and charging it back. She owed me money because I'd been taking care of her for months and she hadn't done anything. And she insisted on paying the annual fee for my website. It's like $300. Who gives a crap about it? She insisted on doing it. And then she charged it back and shut my website down. And I got all the receipts. But there's so many other things that have happened that could only have happened with somebody who is incredibly connected and just trying to coordinate drama publicly, right? A lot of what took place last year with the false QAnon stories, right? The devil worshiping Democrat bullshit. That's this girl. The white oleander nonsense. That's this girl. This girl is connected politically and she plays games. I believe she was hired specifically. She was sent to me. I found her through my marketing company the same way I found you. The same month I found, the same way I found you, I found her. We connected through LinkedIn and it was the same marketing company. They pitched me to you while you were with Stern.
Okay, we're just getting a caller.
I found her the same way.
All right, hold on one second, Sharmin. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you? Oh,
hello, Lisa. It's Dave. How are you doing?
I'm very overwhelmed right now. I want to do the right thing. I wanted to protect Sharmin today. I don't know if I did that. I don't think I did that, and it's a strange feeling.
Yeah, it's been quite an intense show. I was just by the end there, I was thinking you look like a really exhausted referee. Like it's been a real long kind of wrestling match now, and it would be really nice to just put some slippers on and like have a cup of coffee and relax a little bit because, it's hard refereeing these fights as much as it is being in them. And I was worrying about you. Are you all right?
Well, it's been a rough week because every day AW was changing her mind about this interview. Every day I'd be at work. I get very odd calls and texts while I'm at work. And a lot of them are from AW. Oh, I'm doing it. Oh, I'm not doing it. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I changed my mind. Oh, so it's like she was game this one day. So I ran home from work early, like way before I would usually come home. And, I recorded her for an hour just in case she didn't show up today. And when she started to say all the things about Sharmin, about their sexual relationship, I was thinking, man, this is so important that they both get their stories out. I want to handle this delicately with respect for both of them. And it's like almost impossible to do something like that. How do you do it? It's almost impossible. I wanted them on at the same time. She refused. Not Sharmin, AW refused. And I knew she was going to be difficult because she was mad that I didn't change her avatar and different things. She was like a prima donna about the whole thing. And I was like, this woman's going to be a problem. I wanted her not to be a problem. I wanted her to be a part of the Kermit and Friends community. I wanted her and Sharmin to be friends the way Kathy and Sharmin became friends. Last episode, Sharmin and Kathy, they could have been like horrible enemies, but they made up and now they're friends. And now Kathy's a Kermitarian. I thought the same thing would happen this week with Serena, but I couldn't do it. You know, sometimes you fail.
Just to be clear, Serena is the anonymous woman.
Yes. Whoops. Yeah.
No, I just wasn't sure because, like, I've been watching for a couple of hours, and then, like, sometimes she's the anonymous woman, and sometimes she's Serena. And I was thinking, well, maybe they're two different people.
I meant anonymous woman. You know what I meant? Yeah. Everybody knows who it is. That's the weird thing. Like, you know, I could tiptoe around it, but everybody knows who it is. But
like it seems really ridiculous because everyone knows
who it is, and they have known. So yeah.
So why goes after anonymous woman? I also wanted to ask you about you're talking in your opening monologue about being served and everything.
Yes.
And what that was like. And I wanted to ask, just because I wasn't clear watching it, so have you actually been to court?
Yes, I was in court on Thursday. I did win. It was amazing. They played Kermit and Friends in front of a live courtroom. It killed in court. And I just realized how special Kermit and Friends is at that moment. So I was thinking, why would God put me in this scenario where I have to defend myself in court? Because I reached out to several lawyers. They all were going to charge me like $5,000. I was like, fuck it. You know, I'm going to represent myself. And I killed it. Kermit and Friends killed it. I mean, I love being in front of a live audience, and that's what the court was. And it was just thrilling, and I won, and it felt great. And Kermit and Friends sounded great. They played a lot of clips. They actually they printed out the Kermit and Friends Discord server, they were like accusing like M Duzzle and Tony Stark and Wits In, like all were printed out as evidence of like our violent nature, Kermit and Friends' violent nature. But after reviewing Kermit and Friends, after the judge reviewed Kermit and Friends, I would say he should be Kermitarian of the Week, because he noticed that, you know, Kermit and Friends is a lot in jest, and we're good people here. And that's what it comes down to. And no matter how people try to paint us, whether it be Zarina or Kleenex or, you know, the law, we're innocent and we're good people, and we want the best for everyone. And that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. That's right. Amen to that. I thought it really made me laugh when you were holding up the papers at the beginning of the program, because you know how like court documents, they have to type them in such like a proper kind of formal way.
Yeah.
And it just really made me laugh that was like somebody's job before the trial, like
yeah,
transcribing all of this.
And
in like legal language. That's such a fun idea. The other thing I wanted to ask as well, and I don't know if this is just in the UK or if this happens in America as well, but in the UK, you're not allowed to take photographs in a courtroom. You have like a court sketch artist who literally draws everybody, and that goes on record. And I just wondered if someone had done a drawing of you while you were in the courtroom, like a sketch artist from the court.
So actually, the guy, I'm respondent. What is he called again? He's called person seeking protection. That guy went to court. I actually did it from the conference room in my office. So I was on a Zoom type call, and I chose audio because I have the most experience in radio. So I chose audio. I thought I'd be good in that way. But then the judge asked me to hold up my hand, and I was on video for that moment when I swore to like tell the truth. And I felt like so cool in that moment because I was in my office and it looked very professional, and I could tell he was impressed. I was wearing pink. And I just knew, man, this is fun. I love this. This feels like Kermit and Friends. This would be the best episode of all time. I believe for $40, you can get the audio. So I hope somebody does invest in that, because it will be really good audio. I mean, I hope I was as good as I think I was, but I just told the truth. I talked about Kermit and Friends. A lot of times, actually, when I was talking in court, He says, I'm going to stop you right there. That's not really relevant because I tried to bring up, other Kermit and Friends episodes. And then I just realized, Then I just realized, oh, this is just a big commercial for Kermit and Friends. So we might have some judges and some, jury members and, other respondents watching today. And if you are watching today, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed my case.
That's amazing. Like, I
Thank
wish
you.
we all could have been there.
Yeah,
Really
I wish too.
Yeah,
trust me.
Like, there must be someone watching who can pay for the audio of the thing, because it would be kind of funny to hear it all.
It was so terrific. I'm trying to find out if I could upload my court documents to Discord. See, that's the thing I'm kind of confused on right now, because I would like to upload Sharmin's evidence, Serena's evidence, my evidence, and my neighbor's evidence to Discord so everybody can review all the paperwork. We need a processing department. We need people on our legal team. We need a lot of things here because there's a lot going on. This was my favorite show ever. My favorite.
That's really, really fun. Well, yeah, I've been watching it. I've been really enjoying it this week and just hearing everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
And the idea of you having to be in court is just lovely. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a delightful
It was the best day of my life.
Done, and I'm glad you won.
It was the best day of my entire life. I enjoyed it so much. I was scared. I thought, what if this guy wins? What if he wins and this is on my record and it's so embarrassing? But you know what? I just faced it. And sometimes you just have to face things, Dave. Like what Sharmin did today, that was scary. We had, a woman talking for a very long time, trying to paint her in a bad light. A lot of people would have ran away from that, Dave. They would have ran away. But Sharmin is not the type of person to run away. And you have to admire that. You have to admire Sharmin for what she's been through, what people try to paint her as, what they try to paint me as constantly, all the time, my whole life. This is not fair. And you cannot be afraid to stand up for yourself, whether it be in court, whether it be in the office, on Kermit and Friends, wherever people are painting you in a bad light, you stand there tall. Stand there tall, Dave, and don't back down because you can do it. I didn't have a lawyer. They had all this evidence against me. It was printed out. They spent a lot of time on it. And I still won. You can still win. Even when people are against you, you can always win. Just believe in yourself.
I tell you what, if I was the guy who was against you, like the one who was taking you to court, I'd be really mad at my lawyer right now.
Well, he had no lawyer.
If someone could just turn up, and win with no legal experience at all, I would fire that lawyer. I'd refuse to pay them.
Yeah, no, he didn't have a lawyer. It was very pathetic. It was a pathetic display. Let me just say. I mean, he's dealing with a professional. I've been on the radio for 10 years. I've been on TV. I know how to speak my truth. Okay, this guy has no experience whatsoever. He was a complete dud, and he just couldn't stand to me. I'm sorry. He had nothing on me in life, in Kermit and Friends, or in court. So I'm sorry to say, some people are just better than other people. I used to not think that until that courtroom. Then I thought, wow, I'm better than this guy.
By the sound of it as well, it feels like you brought a little bit of kind of showmanship to the courtroom that maybe this guy wasn't able to offer.
Yeah, no. I'm a showman. I got to get this call. Thank you, Dave. He's right. Okay, Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Oh yeah, am I on air? Yeah, I just wanted to go over because there were folks in the chat wondering about the case. I just would like to briefly go over the genesis of it. It's regarding Brandon, right? Your neighbor whose dog actually attacked your dog, right?
Okay, that's a good question, Brain. So yes, that is the person. I don't want to talk ill of him. Wappy quit the server. That is not good. Okay, let's see why he quit the server. Kelly, I'm calling you. Wappy quit, you guys. Ah, geez. All right. Calling Kelly Taylor. All right, Kelly Taylor. All right. Kelly just told me Wappy quit the server. Everybody try to bring him back, right? We don't want him being mad. Maybe he's Team Zarina. Who knows? Who knows with these people? We love Wappy here. Let's talk about the wrap-up show. The wrap-up show is going to be great. I'm so excited. I was the most proud of this show for many reasons. mainly what I was saying to Dave Robinson, which is we showed that you can be brave, right?
Mhm.
So it's important to be brave.
Definitely.
You're a brave person. You go into enemy territory. What do
Yeah.
you think you're going to be discussing on the wrap-up show with
You
Bob?
know, we have so much to discuss. There's so much to unwrap. I think this show was excellent. I think your interviewing was excellent. Bob is going to co-host the show with me. I think so. We're going to try to keep on track and just talk about things that happened on the show today.
Beautiful. Your participation, I just want to tell you, sometimes I don't say it to people, but I just appreciate it so much. You're such a bright light in this community.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're a bright light. You know, you and Bob are just incredible together. And I'm just so looking forward to what you guys are doing on the wrap-up show. Obviously, we're going to discuss Sharmin. And, you know, Eric, I wish I would have had you on the show today.
Always in
Absolutely.
India right
I've got
now.
Grant on the other line. I'm kind of multitasking
We have 10x
as well.
license, Grant Cardone
I just wanted to
license
read
around
this,
the country
you know, so
and growing.
Eric, made a decision.
Partners
I took
around
a
the
risk,
world.
right?
Like,
but
I
I
know a lot
didn't
of
give
people.
in, which made it so that
And-
you
and-
could simply
and
approve
if you
my
want to do
decision,
business with me,
which
do
then
business
made it
with
so that you made a decision.
You want to be
as well. You
around
made
me?
the right
Be
decision.
around me. If
I
you want to
love
see
how
the insides,
charismatic you are,
what we're
Lisa. I love your
doing,
radio
come join.
You can't play Grant Cardone on here. I think we're going to get struck with a copyright strike. But anyway, Wappy quit because of what's in camel toe picture of Elisa. All right. Listen, you try to follow the show, don't even bother because it's very hard to follow. I didn't care about that camel toe picture. Wappy cared about it. Wappy, we love you. Please don't quit just because somebody posts a camel toe picture of me. Who cares, right? Anyway, this show was wonderful. Always stand up for yourself. Never back down. Never, Bob. No matter who or what is said about you, Bob, do you back down?
I have found the cure to balding, but I don't know what I did to stop my balding. So if somebody could help me out with that, I'd appreciate it very much.
What?
Yeah, these pictures they're showing of me, it's like I got the same hairline that I do now, and that was like 20, 30 years ago or whatever.
You had that hairline 30 years ago?
Yeah, according to my haters, same exact hairline. That's me.
Huh. Yeah, your haters have been really crazy recently. I saw this picture, this Kermit and Friends Inquire.
See there? Same hairline. Yeah, there you go.
So this picture is not you. This cannot be you, this picture.
Does it look like me?
No, it doesn't look like you at all. And the Kermit and Friends National Enquirer, they claim that switched at birth. What they did is they took a picture of another guy that was accused of rape, and they said it was you. Looks nothing like you whatsoever. It's
let me tell you, I looked into this case a little bit. The woman that was supposedly raped was over 385 pounds, 5'2".
Okay.
And the guy wasn't even convicted of nothing. He was given deferred whatever process or whatever for like so many years, and then it went to nothing.
Okay. I mean, I believe you. So you have a twin that's identical? That's what my notes are saying?
Well, yeah, that is correct. That is true also.
Okay. So you have an identical twin. So Bob has an identical twin that was convicted of this. Oh,
well, I don't know if it's him or not.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying it could be.
Okay, you should ask him. I'd be curious to know.
Well, I've never known him. I only met him one time. He was an asshole, so I didn't never get to know him.
Oh, maybe that is your twin then. I don't know. Anyway, the news can be wrong. Daniel, did you enjoy the show today?
Yeah, what an amazing show. Oh my God. This show has so much momentum. Eliza, you are on fire. Your talent is truly just bringing out the controversy. Oh my God, just please keep doing what you're doing. I am quickly becoming a huge fan of Kermit and Friends. I'll gladly wear the banner of Kermitarian. And thank you for letting me talk tonight. And please, quick shout out to my friend Andy over at Pod Trash. I hope that's okay.
That's fine. Whoever you want to shout out is fine. We appreciate everyone here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to AW. Thank you to Sharmin, Dr. Frankencock, all the guests that we had today were just incredible. This was my favorite show, you guys. My favorite show. We're bringing justice to Kermit and Friends. Justice. So if you have evidence, post it in the Kermit and Friends Discord. If you don't know where that is, It is in, actually, I don't know how to explain it, but you can follow me on Twitter at Elisa Jordana. Just ask me, elisajordana@gmail.com, or on Facebook. I'll send you the invite. That's where all the evidence will be. Wow, what a show. Thank you to all the callers and just everyone for contributing. You all are amazing, and I'll see you next week on Kermit and Friends.